Should I choose like the first part and then you explain it and then we'll keep reading it?
They want it to read it all and then we do the annotation.
Okay. Alright.
You're in charge. Talk loud though, because the camera's microphone probably doesn't pick up too well.
Alright, 5 years have passed, 5 summers with the length of 5 long winters, and again I hear these winters rolling from the mountain springs with a loft inland murmur. Once again I do behold these steep and lofty cliffs that on the wild secluded scene impress. Not some more deep seclusion and connect the landscape to the quiet of the sky. The day has come when I again respond. Repose. Here under this dark sycamore in view, the plots of cottage ground, these orchard tufts, which this season, with their unripe fruits, are clad in the one green hue and lose themselves mid groves and copse. Once again, I see these hedgerows, hardly hedgerows, little lines of supportive wood run wild. These pastoral farms, green to the very door, and wreaths of smoke sent up in silence from among the trees, with some uncertain notice, as might seem, of vagrant dwellers in the houseless woods, or some hermit's caves by his fire, and hermit sits alone. The beauteous forms through a long absence have not been to me, and is the landscape to the blind man eye, but oft the lonely rooms in the mild den of towns and cities. I have owned to them in hours of weariness, sensations sweet, felt in the blood and felt along the heart, and passing even into my purer mind. With tranquil restoration, feelings too of unremembered pleasure, such perhaps as have no sight or trivial influence on the best portion of a good man's life. His little nameless, unremembered acts of kindness and of love, nor less I trust to them I have owned another gift, of aspect or more sublime. The blessed mood in which the brethren of mystery, in which the heavy and weary weight of all this unintelligible world, is lightened, that seems, thank you, serene and blessed mood in which the affections gently lead us on, until the breath is corporeal frame, and even the motion of our human blood. Always suspended, we are laid asleep and bloody and become the living soul, while within the eye made quiet by the power of harmony and deep power of joy, we seem the life of things. If this be but a vain belief, oh yet how oft in darkness and aim in many shapes of joyless daylight, with the fretful stir, unprofitable and even in the fever of the world, have hung upon the beatings of my heart. How oft in spirit have I turned to thee, O sylvan weed.
Why?
What?
Why?
Why? Oh. Thou wonder throw into the woods. How often has my spirit turned to thee, and now which gleams of half extinguished thought, with my recognitions dim and faint, and somewhat of a sad perplexity, the picture of the mind revives again, while here I stand, not only with the sense of present pleasure, but with pleasing thoughts, that in this moment there is life food for future years. And so I dare to hope, though changed no doubt from what I was when first I came along these hills, when like a roe I bounded over the mountain by the sides of the deep rivers and the lovely streams, wherever nature led, or like a man flying from something that he dreads, the one who sought the things he loved, for nature then, the coarser pleasure of my boyish days, and their glad animal movements all gone by. To me, all in all, I cannot paint what then I was. The sounding cataract haunted me like a passion. The tall rock, the mountain, the deep gloomy wood, their colors and their forms, were then to me an appetite and feeling and a love that have no need to remember motor charm. My thoughts supplied, nor any interest, and borrowed from their eyes, that time has passed, and all its aching joys are now no more. All its diseased raptures, not for this faint, I nor more, nor murmur, other gift. loss, I would believe abundant recompense. For I have learned to look on nature not as in the hour of thoughtless youth, but hearing oftentimes the still and sad news of humanity. No harsh, no draining, through or ample power to chasten or subdue. And I have felt a presence that disturbs me with the joy of elevated thoughts, a sense sublime of something far more deeply infused, where dwelling is the light of setting suns, and the round ocean, the living air, and the blue skies, and the mind of man, emotion, and the spirit that impels. All thinking things, all objects of all thought, and rolls through all things. Therefore am I still a lover of the meadows and the woods, the mountains, and all that we behold. From this green earth of all mighty world of eye and ear, both they have to create, and what perceive, both pleased to recognize in nature that the language of the sense, the anchor of my purest thoughts, the nurse, the guide, the guardian of my heart, and soul to my moral being. Nor perchance, if they were thus thought, should I the more suffer gentle spirits to decay. For thou art with me here upon the banks, this fair river, thou my dearest friend, my dear, dear friend. In thy voice I catch the language of my former heart, and read my former pleasures in the shooting light of thy wild eyes. Oh, yet a little while may I behold in thee what I was once, my dear, dear sister. In this prayer I make, knowing that nature never did betray the heart that loved her. 'Tis her privilege, though all the years in this life of our life, to lead from joy to joy, for she can so inform the mind that is within us, so impressed with the quietness and beauty, so free with lofty thoughts, and near evil tongues, rash judgment, nor for the sneers of selfish men, nor greetings, nor where no kindness is, nor at all the dear intercourse of daily life, shall it prevail against us, or disturb our cheerful faith, that all which we behold is full of blessings. Therefore let the moon shine and thee in thy solitary walk, and let the misty mountain winds be free to blow against thee, and in after years, when these wild ecstasies shall be matured into the sober pleasance, when thy mind shall be a mansion for all lovely farms, thy memory is to be as dwelling place for all sweet sounds and harmonies, both in if solitude or fear or pain or grief should be thy portion. With what healing thought, a tender joy wilt thou remember me, and if these my extortions, nor perchance, if I should be where I no more can hear the voice, nor catch from thy wild eyes these gleams of the past existence, wilt thou then forget that on the banks of this delightful stream we stood together, and that I, so long a worshipper of nature, hither came unwearied into the service, rather say with warm love, oh, with far deeper zeal, with loyal love, or wilt thou then forget that after my wanderings, many years of absence, these steep woods and lofty cliffs, and this green pastoral landscape were to me my poor dear, both for themselves and for that sake.
So on the first page, I talked about the title yesterday, didn't I? On the first page, the first about 5 lines, it's beginning with, he begins the poem with showing his connection with the river because he hadn't been there in 5 days. And
Years.
years. And the speakers